20 victims of monk who abused child visitors to remote island monastery complained to police. 20 victims of a vile monk who abused child visitors to his remote island monastery have complained to police, it was revealed today. Father Thaddeus Kotik allegedly abused children visiting his monastery on the tiny Caldey Island off the coast of Pembrokeshire between 1977 and 1987. 6 women have received out-of-court settlements, and since November this year, 14 new people have reported abuse by the monk. Kotik, who died in 1992, allegedly used chocolate from the Abbey dairy and sweets to strike up relationships with girls whose families holidayed on the island. One victim of Kotik's abuse told BBC Wales of the trauma she suffered at the hands of the monk. She said, "I became an alcoholic, I had an eating disorder, and I was hanging around with drug addicts and prostitutes. I was in relationships with violent, alcoholic men, and all these terrible things nearly ended my life because I was very heavily into drink and drugs, and living with a heroin addict is pretty full on." The girl, known as Jenny, pieced together what had happened after her sister told her about her own experience with Kotik. She said, "After that, all the pieces just started falling into place. Fortunately, my mum keeps diaries, and lo and behold, between the 2 school photos when I was 5 and 6, he came to stay with us for one night in the November of 1978. My sister said he went upstairs to pray, and that's when I would have been in bed, asleep, and it all fell into place. That's when he interfered with me. And that's what started all the fear, the night terrors, the sleepwalking, and all the problems that got worse and worse until my life nearly ended." The historic holy island of Caldey has a monastery for 18 monks and a handful of farmers working the land off the Welsh coast. More than 3,000 visitors make the boat ride from April to October to see the home of the strict Cistercian monks. Kotik was a former soldier in the Free Polish Army in Wei before moving to the island in 1947. He was ordained as a priest in 1956 and lived on the island until his death in 1992. Kotik was never questioned by police because they were not informed until 2014. Dyfed police confirmed it received reports of historical sexual abuse by a monk on Caldey Island. Detective Chief Inspector Jane Butler said specially trained officers were investigating and supporting victims of historical abuse, and people should report crimes to the force. The head of Caldey Abbey has previously issued an apology acknowledging that allegations of serious child sexual abuse made against a Cistercian monk should have been passed on to police. Daniel Van Sant Voort, the abbot at the Abbey on Caldey Island, said he was truly sorry that allegations made against Father Thaddeus Kotik had not been reported to the authorities, and expressed regret for any harm caused.